How to fix short-cycling sump pump. Sump pumps are supposed to do one job: keep water outside and prevent flooding. However, when short cycling occurs, your pump activates more than once within a short time. Unfortunately, this can be the cause of severe flooding in your basement. That's why you should learn how to fix short cycling sump pump. One of the easiest ways to fix your sump pump's short cycling problem is by replacing the float switch. However, additional problems that might result in short cycling can also arise and call for different solutions. So, keep knowing all the way through to know all the approaches. There can be several causes for the short cycling of a sump pump. The most common cause is a broken float switch, but there are other causes as well. Let's take a look at all of them and see what you can do to fix them. Stuck float switch. Usually, when the float switch gets hooked on the sump basin's wall or entangled in the electrical cord, it can't move freely. That's when the pump gets stuck in the brief cycle. The easiest way to fix this problem is to replace the float switch. You can directly buy the replacement switch from the manufacturer of your pump system. However, you should note that the switches are pretty expensive and might require a licensed plumber, as the installation process is quite complicated. Worn out check valve. Did you know that your sump pump was designed to have a check valve on the discharge pipe? If the check valve in your discharge line is broken or missing, usually after a few years, the pump can run continuously without switching off. However, it might shut off, but it'll turn back on again immediately due to a damaged check valve. The check valve is quite inexpensive and effortless to replace. Just remove the valve from the line to examine it thoroughly. If the check valve doesn't look like it's working correctly or closing properly, you may need to replace it with a new one. Relevant: sump pump discharge line underground clogged. Clogged or frozen discharge pipe. A clogged discharge pipe is another common reason for a sump pump to short cycle. But when the outlet pipe gets clogged or frozen, water can't go anywhere, causing the engine to run indefinitely, resulting in the pump burning out. Additionally, you'll need to replace the entire system if the motor burns out, which could be incredibly expensive. If you notice the line is blocked or frozen, thaw the line using a portable heater. You must seek help from a professional in case you're not skilled with DIY thawing. Other common sump pump short cycle problems. Short cycling is the continuous operation of the sump pump, pumping water again and again. Many people face several types of brief cycle issues regarding the sump pump. Drainage problem. Sometimes you might notice that your sump pump running every 2 minutes. That suggests a drainage issue or a leak. Another possibility is that the pump switch isn't set to the required depth. It's important to check for these problems to fix them before they become disastrous and start causing damage in other areas of your home. You can always call a plumber to sort out this problem. Water flow. If there's too much water in your basement, your sump pump will activate more often than necessary. There may come a time when you'll encounter the sump pump runs every 4 minutes depending on the volume and consistency of water pouring into the pit. You don't need to be concerned about this because the sump pump will turn off whenever the level of water drops. High rainfall or moisture. Due to weather, heavy rain or moisture in the air can trigger the sump pump to run continuously. If your sump pump runs every 5 minutes, consider raising the float valve setting, so the cycle doesn't begin and stops quickly. However, as the rain stops, the pump will most likely return to normal operation. A too large or small pit. No matter what size your home is, your sump pump must be the right size to manage the unique demands of your home. If you have a larger home with more floors, you'll need a bigger pump. Likewise, it could be that your pump pit is too small or too shallow to accommodate the size of your house. A sump pump pit is where water is collected and pumped out of your house. If the pit isn't deep enough, you'll witness the sump pump runs every 30 seconds. That is, the pump will turn on, but then turn off again after only a few seconds. You can try to increase the depth of your sump pump slightly as it'll raise it above the groundwater level, resulting in solving the problem. However, it'd be better to seek help from a professional as the process is easier said than done. How to check the sump pump. Whenever you encounter a short cycle like a sump pump running every 2 seconds, you better check the machine right away. There are a few ways to check. The first and easiest way to check your sump pump is by pouring a bucket or jug of water into the pit, which will turn on the unit automatically. If, unfortunately, it doesn't start, call the plumber. Examine the GFCI breaker since sump pumps are connected to it. When the place is moist, the breaker could trip. That's why, if it's not turned on, make sure it is. Some sump pumps are installed underground, while others are freestanding. Double check that the sump pump is in the correct position, as it might collapse due to pump vibrations. After removing the submersible pump from the pit, you must clear out the grate at the unit's bottom. Most frequently, Tiny stones get stuck in that grate, hindering the flow. Check if there's any unpleasant odor left. If there's a smell, water is probably not moving from the trap toward the basin. In such an instance, combine 1 gallon of water and 1 cup of bleach, then pour the liquid into the trap.
Thanks for watching.